Now, wait a minute. Mr. Lamone, didn't you just say not to demonize people, but then in the literal next part of that sentence go on to demonize white people, specifically white men? Well, if I didn't know better, Mr. Lamone, I would say you're a racist.
And we have to start doing something about them.
Wir mussten als Partei in der Minorität bleiben, weil wir die wertvollsten Elemente des Kampfes und des Opfersinns in der Nation mobilisierten, die zu allen Zeiten nicht die Mehrheit, sondern die Minderheit ausgemacht haben.
And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
Actually, Mr. Lamone, let me see if I can help you out here. I don't know if this has ever been done before, but what if we made all white men wear some sort of identifying jewelry or carry some sort of paperwork with them? That way, if we ever needed to, we could, say, round them all up and put them in a place for just observation.
Everyone here is either black or Latino. Let's see how electric guitar works on them. Ready, John? Yeah. Okay, go.
And we have to start doing something about them.
Now, I'm sure that given the opportunity to reflect on your statements, you will choose to revise them. Oh, wait, no? I'm told Mr. Lamone has doubled down. He's doubled down? That's hard to imagine. I gotta be sure.
So people who were angered about what I said are missing the entire point. We don't need to worry about people who are thousands of miles away. The biggest threats are homegrown. The facts prove that.
Wir mussten als Partei in der Minorität bleiben, weil wir die wertvollsten Elemente des Kampfes.
Well, geez, you've got me convinced, Mr. Lamone. What should we do? I mean, I support you. You've scared me sufficiently enough that I'm ready to do literally anything to root these evil people barely out of our midst. So you say they're homegrown. Maybe once we kind of round them up for observation, would it just be easier to, cleanse them away? Would that be the easiest solution, Mr. Don Lemon? I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. Tell me.
There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
That, of course, is the end result of this type of rhetoric. There's no denying that the news media is using inflammatory language on both sides. That is causing the violence we see on the streets. They whip everyone up into a weird fervor where literally everybody is a suspect, everybody is dangerous, and they never have to get involved with the plebs on the street. Most people that watch mainstream media and absorb it as fact. Now, I'm not saying you can't watch CNN, although I guess if you're in a dentist office or an airport, you might not have a choice. But the same goes for Fox News. If you're watching some sort of mainstream news outlet and you're accepting their word as fact, prepare to be manipulated. Prepare to be used as a tool for whatever it is their goals are. And we know that they are part of the establishment and that they are pro-war and they are pro-violence because this type of thing creates excellent ratings for them. And I'm hoping that more of the American public and really the world wakes up to this, and they are starting to. And some of that is thanks to President Trump pointing that kind of thing out, but some of that is also just a result of people taking the same medicine for years and years and years, and then going outside and realizing that, hey, wait a minute, you know what? I go to my local pub and sit right next to the most polar opposite person on the planet politically as me. And imagine that. We didn't get into a knockdown drag out. We didn't get into a brawl. In fact, I work with this guy and it doesn't affect our daily life at all. And part of what really drives this channel is a call to de-escalate, a call for calm, cool, and collected responses, which is why a lot of times I treat absurdity with absurdity on the other side in hopes that my viewers, God bless you all, and if you're enjoying this video, please remember to click that thumbs up button, will land somewhere in the middle. Obviously, the comparison between what Mr. Lemonhead says and what I've shown in this video out of context sounds very similar. However, what Don Lemon said was completely in context. He was using statistics that, there's a saying, there are lies, there are damn lies, and then there are statistics. Statistics are great, but they are also exceedingly powerful in the wrong hands, to be used against people who only have 4 minutes to watch the news, right? It isn't their job. They're not a professional news consumer. Like you, Mr. Lamone, are a professional news actor. You don't really have any skin in the game. You don't really care about what you're saying. Your only job is to whip people up into a frenzy, to make them fear, to make them tune back in to see what Orange Man has done, what the Cheeto Fuhrer is up to next. And you don't ever pay the price for that. It's people on the street. It's people like, I don't know, some neckbeard gamer who gets randomly attacked by somebody at a bar at 2 in the morning. We are the ones that pay the price for this rhetoric, not you. And so I'm hoping that people choose to tune out. And Mr. Lemon can spit his hate to fewer and fewer people. And there are people, again, on right-wing media that do the same thing. And just for whatever reason, I'm never getting recommended their videos on YouTube, which is curious. If they were just as bad, I would be happy to call them out. Feel free to send me clips. But the point is, left or right, you cannot take what the media says at face value. I'm not saying that you can trust no one, but what I am saying is understanding that a message brought to you by mainstream media has weird ulterior motives. It is brought to you by people who don't really care about you. They care about ratings. They aren't out there rubbing shoulders with you. They're sitting and making their $2 million a month to read what is put on a teleprompter in front of them. It's really, really disgusting. And I'm hoping that, again, people will share this video around and will hopefully share what is more important, and that is the message that it's going to be okay. You can disagree politically with your neighbor, and it's going to be okay. And that to always be wary of statistics. I could say something about black folks, too. I could say, well, for an ultra minority of the population, they commit an extraordinarily high percentage of the violent crimes. And I could use that to paint all African Americans, all blacks with that brush. But I don't do that kind of thing. Now, in response to something like what Mr. Lemonhead says, what will happen now? The right-wing media outlets will use that type of statistic to paint a whole nother group of people as evil. And all that does is cause more division. So a grain of salt would be generous as to what to take mainstream news with. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be back later today with a second one. We'll talk to you again real soon.